This is Dolany TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel this afternoon, evening, wherever you're tuning in from, whatever time it is. I'm bringing you bad news, unfortunately, so it is what it is to begin an NHL season. Let's just kind of go back. You know what? Let's go back to happy times. About 20 hours ago? 19 hours ago? Yeah, 19 hours ago sounds about happy times to me. We just came off a 3-2 victory against the Canucks. Life was really good. Things looked awesome. We were first in the Pacific Division. We were alone up there. We beat a division rival. We beat a rival in general, and life was really good. However, at 1:02 of the first period, something that I shrugged off, something that everybody seems to have shrugged off, is a blocked shot by Adam Larsson. And last night, one thing I didn't detail very well in my game review, which I should have detailed, is the simple fact of how excellent of a job the Oilers did clamping down on the attack of the Canucks. Even when they got dominated, they were keeping them to the outer perimeter, kind of like how the Oilers' power play used to get kept to the outer perimeter last season. Think that idea. You see the mental picture in your head. That's what the Oilers did for the most part to the Canucks. When the Canucks drove it into the center of the ice, what ended up happening was they let a pass too much, or they were behind their man, or the shot got blocked. Chris Russell, think about that, block shot goes in off him, is what it is. It's a goal Connor McDavid's putting on his helmet, lay the blame where he might. But that block shot at 1:02 left in the first period by Adam Larsson. That's what we'll come back to right now, because as I said, I think the majority of us shrugged it off. He did limp a little bit after blocking it, and there was a damn good reason for it. He finished the game. I think from there on out, he played another 14 minutes or so of ice time on a broken tibia, or fibula. Fibula, that's the word I'm looking for. Not a tibia, on a broken fibula. So let me get the LTIR news here, because this is what I'm looking for. Let's see, where are we? It was muted. Here we go. 6 to 8 weeks for Adam Larsson with a fractured right fibula. See, I knew I was going to get it wrong off the hop, guys. Not perfect, is what it is. So, fractured right fibula, 6 to 8 weeks for Adam Larsson. And the thing is, we say, as maybe myself, I'd say this isn't a huge loss by any means, but the way the Oilers D, as I detailed, played last night, Adam Larsson was a big factor in how that went down, right? You think he didn't have those 3 or 4 or 6 or whatever, how many ever blocked shots he had last night, that game is completely different. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it cost him his fibula for the next 6 to 8 weeks. So with that requires us to make some moves, and that's where the whole shakedown of what happened today begins, with Ethan Bear going down to Bakersfield. Now, hold on. Ethan Bear's played great. Ethan Bear's earned a spot on this team. How do you lose a defenseman and send Bear down, especially a right shot defenseman? It's all in the money. And the key here, what you need to know, let me get to Cap Friendly on Twitter. I had Ryan Rashog's tweet with the money shot of Adam Larsson getting beat down there with the shot. What we need to know is the Oilers assigned Ethan Bear and recalled Evan Bouchard. So what that did is take us from further away from the cap ceiling to only $89,770 away from the cap ceiling. That then allowed us to place Adam Larsson on the LTIR, and well, that gives us a cap, an actual cap of $81.4 million. Follow the money here. It's complicated. I wish I could chart it out for you, but it is what it is. Then what that allows is you to go up over the salary cap by the difference between Adam Larsson's salary and how much below the salary cap you were. So to make sense of that, what we'll do is go over to Cap Friendly, and I'll just read you off kind of the contracts for Evan Bouchard. Evan Bouchard, in the minors system, is our highest paid defenseman next to Philip Broberg. Evan Bouchard right now on his NHL entry deal makes $894,000 on the cap hit. Ethan Bear, if I've got this correct, only makes 700 and where is it? 20,000. So that's the difference. That's 174,000 difference. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, why Ethan Bear got sent to the minors and why Evan Bouchard got called up today to rubber stamp the LTIR money for Adam Larsson, who will be out for the next 6 to 8 weeks. So it's a complicated procedure, and it's all about the money. Follow the money. Hockey is a business. And okay, that in itself is really makes it even more insult to injury, right? But now let's get into the domino effect of Adam Larsson going on the LTIR here. Evan Bouchard not expected to exactly play Saturday because they're expecting Joel Persson to get into the lineup, but that means somebody's got to fit in there with Adam Larsson gone, and I don't think it's going to be Brandon Manning, so you very well could see Evan Bouchard in there. However, let's go back another step, because who's to say you don't send Evan Bouchard back to the minors tomorrow when you can again and call up Ethan Bear, right? And the thing is, what the Oilers can do here is have Ethan Bear play Friday night in the Bakersfield Condors home opener. I haven't done the schedule. I apologize, guys. I really need to look at that schedule for you. And then come up Saturday and play against the LA Kings at Rogers Place. There's a couple of formulas here that can be followed, and I've seen varying degrees of what's going to happen based on who thinks what. So right now it's kind of a toss-up game for the Oilers as it sits right now, but we'll find out what we can do. And obviously this LTIR money allows us that comfortability, right? If we want to call up Sam Gagner and say send down Patrick Russell or someone in the next little while, we can do that. We are well within our means on the cap to now be able to do that. So it's okay. And this realistically for the Oilers, I guess, to look at the LTIR money as a whole kind of allows Ken Holland, and this is a genius play by Ken Holland, the LTIR is very rarely used for 2-month injuries, I'd say. Usually it's enacted when you're this close to the cap for an injury like Sekera's was, or somebody who's going to be out for the entire year. But this is ingenious in the fact that you can look at this roster, let this roster play out, kind of let them build their roles, build their scoring touch, and whoever's kind of failed at the end, you can figure out exactly what the need is. You can go acquire it, and then you can subtract when Larsson comes back. And that's what I think the beauty of this is, because now maybe Brandon Manning has usefulness on this team, maybe William Lagesson has usefulness, but now you've got yourselves a dimension to this team that you have to finish off the building block towards competing for that playoff spot. And you're missing one guy. Dave Tippett, Ken Holland would agree, you're missing at least one guy. Problem is you're missing two. So now you've got somebody needs to step up. Joel Persson, Ethan Bear, Evan Bouchard, Lagesson, Manning, those are the guys you're looking at on the defense. And then you've got on the front end, out of nobody last night that we acquired new, nobody scored. Last night it was all Draisaitl, McDavid, Kassian, and Matt Benning. So that's tough for the Oilers to begin with, doing the same old thing from last year. But you can kind of see where I'm going, right? Now it's time for somebody to establish their role and go out there and get something done. Or you could be facing, when Adam Larsson comes back from LTIR, and if you've chewed up that LTIR money, somebody's got to go somewhere. Obviously, I think to relieve the cap after the cap relief comes off is the simple fact that a Sam Gagner or Brandon Manning sees themselves out of the door. That's quote-unquote what I'd be looking at, and that's what I've been looking at for a while. But it would be interesting now to kind of see if the Oilers enact the LTIR money for Kyle Brodziak. That's the question right now, right? Because as it sits, as far as I'm concerned and as far as I understand, Kyle Brodziak is still sitting on injured reserve. So I don't know if there's some stipulation you can't enact two at once and whatever, but we'll find out. That's the question mark right now. What you need to ask yourself is, where does Kyle Brodziak sit in all of this LTIR money? That's a question as well. But guys, a complicated day. I guess to recap, Bear down, Bouchard up, Larsson to the LTIR, follow the money. Hockey's a business, is what it is. Hopefully we're good to go against LA. Step up time. no panic. No panic is the key. I don't think we're going to see Ken Holland go out there and trade for someone. This isn't Peter Chiarelli because, ladies and gentlemen, I'll just take a detour here out of my intro or outro for a second and talk about what Peter Chiarelli would have done. Peter Chiarelli would have traded Ryan Nugent-Hopkins for a top 4 defenseman at 9 a.m. this morning as soon as they found out Adam Larsson was going on the LTIR. That's what Peter Chiarelli would have done. Ladies and gentlemen, sending down Ethan Bear, calling up Evan Bouchard, enacting LTIR money on Adam Larsson. Much better. Much better. Ken Holland, big old check mark. Guys, I'm Tyson. This is Stolany TV. I am up on out of here.